Every time you drink this, your erections get just a little bit weaker, and you don't even know it. It's probably sitting in your fridge right now. Maybe you even had a glass this morning thinking you were doing something good for your health. But recent warnings from top urologists are sounding the alarm. After 60, this one common drink could accelerate erectile decline faster than aging itself. What if the one thing you thought was fueling you is actually draining the very system you rely on most for intimacy? Here's why this matters more than you might think. After the age of 60, your body naturally starts producing less testosterone. On top of that, your blood vessels, especially the small, delicate ones, don't function the way they used to. That's a normal part of aging. But here's the kicker. Erections depend entirely on those two things working together: strong blood flow and proper hormone levels. When either one of those systems breaks down, your performance suffers. And the scariest part? Weak erections are often the first visible sign of silent internal aging. According to a large Harvard study, 70% of men who later suffered serious heart problems had reported erectile issues years earlier. It's not just about the bedroom. It's a signal. And that signal is trying to warn you that something inside is struggling. Now, this one drink that most of us trust, maybe even associate with breakfast or staying fit, could be making things worse. Here's why. It may increase belly fat, which lowers your testosterone levels. It can spike your blood sugar, damaging the lining of your arteries and making it harder for blood to flow where you need it. It suppresses nitric oxide, the very compound that lets your blood vessels relax and fill properly during arousal. And yet, it's still marketed as healthy, as part of a balanced breakfast. You've probably had this drink hundreds, maybe thousands of times. But what most men don't realize is how quickly it wrecks the one system your body needs most for strong, full erections. In a moment, I'm going to show you exactly what that drink is. And more importantly, I'll show you one simple switch older men are making to restore vitality, improve performance, and even boost testosterone naturally. Let's break this down so you understand exactly what's going on behind the scenes in your body. After 60, erections become more delicate. Not because you've lost your drive, but because the mechanisms behind them slow down with age. You need three things working together. First, blood flow. Erections are a vascular event. If blood can't reach your lower body freely and quickly, the engine doesn't start. Second, nitric oxide. This natural chemical helps your blood vessels widen, so blood can move in and stay in place. Third, testosterone. Not just for desire, but to support the tissue, the nerves, and the overall hormonal balance that lets you rise to the occasion. All three of these systems weaken over time, but they're also extremely sensitive to what you eat and drink, especially sugar. Now here's where it gets concerning. Harvard researchers found that higher blood sugar levels were clearly linked to lower sexual performance scores in men. And get this, even short-term blood sugar spikes like the kind caused by certain beverages can reduce nitric oxide production by almost 40% within 2 hours. That means you go from ready to not responding in the time it takes to finish breakfast. Over time, sugar damages the inner lining of your blood vessels, what's called the endothelium. This layer is critical for erection strength. When it's inflamed or stiff, blood flow to your lower regions slows down even if your mind is in the mood. Now, what about testosterone? Your body builds testosterone when it's metabolizing healthy fats and working efficiently. But sugar, especially in liquid form, tells your liver to shift focus. Instead of producing testosterone from cholesterol, your liver gets overwhelmed trying to process incoming sugar. Studies out of Emory University found that men who consumed high-sugar drinks were 20–25% lower in testosterone on average. And unfortunately, once your body starts storing that sugar as belly fat, it makes things even worse. Here's why. Belly fat isn't just dead weight. It actually converts testosterone into estrogen. You heard that right. The more sugar you consume, especially from that hidden source we'll talk about in a second, the more belly fat you build. And that fat literally hijacks your hormonal system. So instead of producing the hormones that support your mood, your drive, your circulation, you start producing more of the hormones that weaken your energy, soften your edges, and reduce your overall performance. Now for the twist. That drink you thought was smart, safe, even healthy, it's orange juice. Hold on, I know what you're thinking. That can't be right. It's fruit. It's natural. It's vitamin C. But here's the catch, and it's crucial. Store-bought orange juice is not just fruit. It's been processed, stripped of fiber, and concentrated into a sugar cocktail that hits your bloodstream just like soda. And yet, most men over 60 still trust it mostly because they've been told to for decades. You may have reached for it after a workout, or poured it with your eggs because it felt right. But in just a moment, I'll show you what's actually hiding in every glass and the one simple switch that could help you reverse years of hormonal and vascular decline in just a few weeks. And yes, this switch is easy, affordable, and already working for thousands of men who are tired of feeling off, even when everything else seemed fine. Because here's the truth. If you want to reclaim that edge, you don't need another pill or supplement. You need to remove the thing that's wearing your system down, day by day, sip by sip. And then give your body a better alternative, something that supports the very pathways you need to stay strong, clear, and confident. I'll show you exactly how. So let's take a closer look at what's actually going on inside that glass of orange juice. A single cup, just 8 ounces, can contain up to 21 grams of sugar. That's 5 full teaspoons. Now think about this. Would you ever spoon 5 teaspoons of sugar into your morning coffee and call it healthy? Probably not. But somehow, because it's in juice, we give it a pass. The truth is, your body doesn't care that the sugar came from an orange. It still floods your bloodstream the same way. Dr. Brian McKnight, a leading men's health specialist, describes this kind of sugar spike like sending your hormones through a roller coaster. He's seen men in their 60s go from sharp and energized to sluggish and foggy, and much of the time, the culprit was right there in the fridge. Now, let me tell you what happens just minutes after drinking that juice. Insulin shoots up to shuttle all that sugar out of your blood. Your nitric oxide levels drop. Blood vessels can stiffen. Your liver goes into overdrive trying to process the flood. And testosterone production? It takes a back seat. Even if you feel fine at the time, beneath the surface, the systems that control your energy, drive, and performance are taking a hit. One man we spoke to, Jerry, 66, said he couldn't figure out why his motivation was sagging. His labs looked mostly normal. His diet seemed okay on the surface. But after tracking everything carefully, it turned out he was drinking 2 glasses of orange juice every morning, just like he had for years. He thought he was helping his immune system. Instead, it was quietly sabotaging his performance. The switch he made was simple, and within weeks, he started feeling more alert, noticed fewer afternoon crashes, and let's just say, things in the bedroom improved too. Here's what thousands of men like Jerry are doing instead. They're ditching sugary juices, especially first thing in the morning, and replacing them with something your body actually wants: raw beet and pomegranate juice. Unsweetened, simple, natural. Now, before you roll your eyes, no, you don't have to become a health nut. And no, we're not talking about chugging a glass of dirt. A few small sips of real, low-sugar juice can make a big impact if you choose the right ones. Beets, for example, are rich in natural nitrates. These help boost nitric oxide levels, exactly what older men need to improve blood flow downstairs. Pomegranates? They've been linked to improved testosterone levels. In one small clinical trial, men who drank pomegranate juice daily for just 2 weeks saw a 24% average increase in testosterone. Not guaranteed, of course, but a promising sign. And unlike orange juice, these juices don't spike your blood sugar the same way. They nourish rather than overwhelm. You only need a few ounces a day. Or better yet, mix in a small amount with water and drink it slowly. That way you keep your sugar intake low, but still support that vital nitric oxide pathway. Remember, this isn't about giving up all pleasures in life. It's about making smarter choices. Subtle shifts that protect your energy, clarity, and performance with no pills, no shame, and no complicated routines. And if you're wondering, is it really just about juice? Here's the bigger picture. What you drink sets the tone for your hormones every single day. When you start your morning with sugar, you're sending your body the wrong signal. You're telling it to stop creating testosterone. You're telling it to increase fat storage. You're telling your blood vessels to constrict instead of relax. But when you remove the sugar bomb and replace it with what your body craves, rapid improvement becomes possible. Not overnight, but steadily, week by week, month by month. Improvements in energy, improvements in mood, and yes, improvements in drive and performance that most men chalk up as gone for good. Now, maybe you're wondering, why hasn't your doctor talked about this? In fairness, most doctors are trained to look for disease, not subtle decline. And sugar is everywhere. It's not a new threat, but it's a sneaky one, especially in the form of juice. If it came in a can and said cola, we'd all be suspicious. But put it in a carton, slap on a 100% natural label, and we just don't question it. That ends today. So here's what you do. Tomorrow morning, skip the OJ. Instead, start your day with a glass of water, and if you want a little flavor, a splash of beet or pomegranate juice. Just a little. You'll still get the taste, but your body will thank you. In just a few days, you may notice your mornings feel smoother, fewer crashes, more clarity, and over time, even stronger results where it counts most. This small switch could be the turning point. And before you think, it can't be that simple, remember, small hinges swing big doors. Tomorrow's strength doesn't start with a miracle pill or a fancy product. It starts with the next thing you drink. Now, in our next video, we'll go even deeper. Because while removing orange juice is a huge first step, there's a second, hidden threat that may be living in your so-called healthy snacks. And this one goes beyond performance. It may affect your memory and long-term brain health too. If you're serious about protecting your energy, your edge, and your future, you won't want to miss what we share next. So don't forget, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and most importantly, tomorrow morning skip the juice and start fresh.